Okay, got those two, got those two, got that one, got that one. So 1, 2, 3 to drill out. And I think I learned to leave them long and try to get as much weld on the bolt that's sticking out as possible, and then weld a nut to it. And that works too. So next time I'm gonna just deal with what I got and not cut off more than necessary, just to give me more chances of getting it out. Because I got this one flush and I just can't get penetration, and then see how that's starting to eat there a little bit. I'm like, well, I better just stop while I'm ahead and just drill those out. I think that, well, it's 1, 2, 3, and then that one is 4. All right, that's the first two on the driver's side. I left the stud and I welded the washer to it real nice and thick, like kind of like a TP, if you will, because the bolt was sticking out a lot further than the washer. And then I put the nut on it and welded that thoroughly on both of them. So there should be plenty of penetration on the bolt, so that they shouldn't be letting go. Now I'm gonna let these cool, because I don't want to do them all and then learn that that was the worst way I could possibly do it. So I'm going to do these and learn from lessons as I go if I need to. If this works every time, great. But I'm going to let those cool down, because I've noticed that even if I let them cool down, it makes the weld stronger and they still come loose. The one that I had my ground on, it was welded and they were breaking. That way that I was welding it, I just welded a nut to the stud, and they kept breaking off. Well, I let that sucker cool for 3 days, and when I took the ground off of it, it came right out. So there you go. You know, all that, and the first one still broke. I could touch it with my fingers when I started.
Well, that one goes to show you that it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be all the way around, it doesn't even have to be straight. You just have to get good penetration on that bolt.
Same strategy. Just let it cool down. Try it again. Well, that one was cooling. I did that one same way, and hopefully it'll work out. Looks pretty dang cool. I got plenty of penetration. Tons. Like the whole bolt got welded to the washer. Well, both of those broke, so I guess there is no rhyme or reason. And I got one out today when it was cold. I come out here and it took me 15 minutes. I welded one up there, and then I welded one down here, and I cooled it off with oil. I didn't even get it very hot, and it turned right out. But I already had broke that one once the other day. And since then, I've tried welding that one over there like 3 times, and it just keeps breaking. And I'm able to put quite a bit of torque on it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm welded all 3 of these, and I'm just gonna wait till morning now. And it's gonna be, everything's gonna be ice cold. And then I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna try it, because I can weld that till it's glowing red, spray it with a little bit of oil, and then pretty much break it right off with about 30 pounds of torque. Well, I took less than 30 pounds of torque to get that one this morning when everything was nice and cold, and I didn't even get that really hot when I welded it. So I'm gonna try it and see what happens. I still gotta wait for the tools for these other ones. That one was broke off like that when I got to it, but I still got these 4 that I can try other tools on. So those tools haven't come in yet, so what's the big hurry really? I got 2 of them off so I can use the jig if I need to. So that's what the plan is. Tomorrow morning I'll see if these come out or not. Maybe I'll have better luck when everything's the same temperature. Although, you know, I break that one and then I can literally touch it with my fingers. It feels like it's the same temperature. It feels like it's ice cold. So, I mean, maybe that's the problem. The weld is still not, it didn't cool down. I cooled it down too fast and everything. Well, maybe the weld will be a little bit stronger. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just guessing. Oh, by the way, this is the weld settings that seem to be working the best. I had it too hot before, and that one I can weld pretty reliably and get good penetration. Let it cool for a couple hours. I couldn't stand it, so I came out and tried, and one came out. I guess I'll see if these other 2 will come out. All right, 2 came out, 1 broke. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, so I think letting it cool actually is better. I have been penetrating them with oil for the last couple days, so that may have helped. So, well, I'm getting somewhere. This is good. All right, I got that one welded back on, and seeing how letting it cool works so well, I'm gonna wait an hour or so, or 2, and let that get nice and cool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I got out. And that one's the last one that's broke off close. So if that one comes out, I'll be really doing well. And then I got 1, 2, 3, and then that one that the ground's on is 4 studs sticking out to try with the experimental tools I bought on Amazon. And then this right here is making me curious. I wonder what the heck that's for. It's all rusty and it almost looks like it goes into the head pretty deep. And this one does too, but it doesn't appear to be threaded like that one. So I wonder what that is. Well, I came in from the shop and the mailman was coming. And look what was in the mail. Yeah, I'm gonna try those. Probably tomorrow though. Yeah, I couldn't wait. I had to come out and try this. On one that it can get and spin all the way around, it's working. I'm getting that one out. That one's coming out. But that one there was hitting on this stuff, so it's having a problem. And down there it's even closer, so it's having a problem. So I got it to get onto one, and I'm gonna try them a few more times and try to get them out, but that takes almost a full turnaround to get tight on the bolt. But this one is coming out. It's pretty awesome. So this one works when it can get on the bolt. It's looser. Let me show you about how much room it needs. It's quite a bit of room, see? Hopefully it'll stay locked on there so I can see how much bolt grabbed. It's not even in the hole, and it grabbed. So that's pretty good.
All right, so once this locks on, I tried a bunch of dumb stuff to get it off, but I put it in a vise and everything. And when it was bitten on there, it would not go either way. I had to, what I finally ended up doing is putting a pair of vice grips on this bolt and turning the bolt, and then this cam turned. But I could not get this thing off. It was locked on there. And that was what got it off. I even tried to punch hitting it. It's like, what is it gonna, and then I said, well, I'll put a vice grips on it and push with both wrenches. Well, it came off pretty easy once I started turning on the bolt. So that's pretty good information there.
Now this one I actually like better. You just hold it with your hand and you tighten it, and it just keeps tightening and it'll tighten and tighten until that bolt breaks loose. This first one broke off on me when I used it, but this one, it just kept tightening on there, and I was like, man, when's it gonna stop tightening? And then the bolt probably popped loose and it just started coming out. So I'm gonna have 2 more to weld. If this other one comes out on the left side, comes out just as easy as this one did. And then you just take a pair of pliers and hold it here and loosen it, and it comes right off the bolt. This one's a pretty nice tool. Really impressed with that from Aries. It's an Aries tool.
That tool got 2 of them out. One of them broke, but I think I was using it wrong, and it had side pressure or something. But you just put that on the bolt and you tighten that and loosen the bolt. It's a reverse thread. You tighten that and loosen the bolt direction, and it just gets tighter and tighter on that bolt until the bolt breaks loose or the bolt breaks. And boy, I wish I would have had this when I started this job. It probably would have cut the time in half, because most of my bolts were sticking out enough to use this tool. That's just, it's a beautiful tool. All right, that one came out. All I gotta say is, let those welds cool, because it works a lot better. Now, I got on this side, the driver's side, I got that one I got to weld, and I believe this one is broken off quite deep. That was that way when I got to it, so that's going to be a challenge. But I'm going to weld this one before I go in, and then I only got one to drill on this driver's side, and it's like in the easiest one, I think, as far as getting to it goes. Well, that one was coming out until it wasn't. It's pretty deep in there. And then this one down here, right here, it's pretty deep. I tried welding it, and it didn't even hold even a little. And I'm not sure I should try that one, but I probably will anyway. Try one more time to weld that, and then if not, it's getting drilled. Yeah, I tried it, and it doesn't stick. I'm not even gonna bother. I only got 2 to drill, so I might as well just do it. If I had a bunch to do and it was like gonna be really a big deal, then I'd probably keep trying, but I only got 2 that are that deep, so I'm not gonna keep going. The welds aren't sticking anyway.